Some of you are just 90 days away from being unrecognizable with weight loss. The kind of weight loss that at Christmas family members are asking about what your diet is and what your workout was. The kind of weight loss that people whisper behind your back and say they look so different. The kind of weight loss that you look at an old picture of yourself and realize that that person used to be frustrated and stuck. Here's exactly how you can become unrecognizable with weight loss in just 90 days, because people greatly underestimate how long that it actually can take. Number one, limit the amount of liquid calories that you have. This is a massive one. Why? Because if you were to take a 200 calorie can of, let's say, pop or soda, as you guys call it, I call it pop, and then if you took a 200 calorie meal, let's just say if you compared 200 calories of a chicken breast, which one do you think would make you more full? It's pretty obvious, right? Liquid calories are barely making you full, and you are probably having way more than you think. And this is actually a massive one that people forget to track when they are in a calorie deficit. And I'm not only talking about pop, not soda. I'm not only talking about pop, but I'm talking also about like the coffee creamer that you were putting in your coffee. People forget that most of the calories that you're having in your coffee is the creamer. Now, black coffee is extremely low in calories, but the creamer that you are putting into it is extremely higher or will continue to rack up. And not only that, but alcohol is way higher in calories than you think. Alcohol is actually almost double the amount of calories as carbs and protein are per gram. And those things are food. Now imagine you're drinking this, right? Like you're drinking alcohol. Of course, the calories are gonna rack up. And when most people drink alcohol, guess what? They want to snack a bunch. They want to eat way more than they probably should have. And on top of the calories that they just drank. So this is exactly what I want you to start doing. And it's simple. You don't need to only have water. That's not what I'm telling you. Yes, of course, you should include a ton of water in your diet because it's gonna help with weight loss. But start going for 0 calorie or extremely low calorie options. So start going for the Coke Zero instead of the regular Coke. And yes, Coke Zero is better than the Pepsi Zero. I think it's Pepsi Max or whatever it is. Start going for a lower calorie creamer option. Start going for the lower calorie sauces. There are so many options out there available to you now, especially with how good food science has got. There's even a famous study out there of people who drank Coke Zero and water, and then compared to people who only drank water, and the people who drank the Coke Zero with it, or it might have been Diet Coke, those people actually saw a little bit more weight loss progress, but the more important piece was they saw way more long-term success. Why? Because they learned how to incorporate these things into their diet instead of going completely hardo mode and cutting things out completely and only having to drink water, eating things that aren't in moderation. So start allowing yourselves to have this and start including these into your diet if you are having options that are having a ton of calories. Now, limiting liquid calories is key, but you should not be limiting this. Number two, start having a high protein diet. Start eating tons of foods that are gonna be high in protein. Having a high protein diet is actually one of the most backed diets when it comes to losing fat. Why? Because protein helps keep you a lot more full. Your body takes much longer to digest protein, so it almost sends like a signal to your brain telling you that you are more full. People tend to eat high carb diets because they're easy. I'm not saying eating carbs are a bad thing, because they're not. But it's easy to sit there and have a ton of carbs because most people tend to crave more when they eat tons of carbs. But if you eat a ton of protein, it is difficult to get a lot of protein. So this is what I want you to do. All I want you to do is take your goal body weight times 0.8, and that is going to be the amount of grams to eat in protein every single day. So for example, if you want to weigh 150 pounds, you would take 150 times 0.8, and that is going to give you 120 grams of protein every single day. Now, if that number seems way too high and not really realistic for you to hit right now, what I want you to start doing is get a goal get a number that is realistic for you and start increasing this 10 to 20 grams each week. Because you're going to start getting really good at knowing what foods are high in protein, how to have a high protein breakfast, how to have a high protein lunch, how to have high protein snacks, and things like that. Now, diet is no doubt the most important thing for fat loss, but exercise is a close second, which leads me into number 3, is start strength training 2 to 3 times a week. You don't need to spend hours in a gym. You don't need to be working out every single day. In fact, I would highly discourage you from doing things like this because your body needs time to recover. When you break down a muscle and And if you don't give it time to recover, guess what? You're just going to continue to break it down, and if it's never going to actually be able to build upon itself. It's kind of like, you get annoyed, right? When you go down the highway and there's always tons of construction. If they didn't shut down one lane over the nighttime to work on that construction, it would always be in continuous construction. I know it feels like it already is, but it would always be in continuous construction if they never actually shut down the dang road at nighttime. So you have to be able to shut down for a day, let your body recover. I'm not saying you shouldn't do any activity, but at least when it comes to strength training, you shouldn't be doing it every single day. So what do I want you to do? Start doing full body workouts and start doing 6 to 8 exercises in those workouts. So what you're gonna be doing is you'll be hitting lower body, upper body, and core all within one workout. And why this is actually, in my opinion, way better than a lot of these body part splits is because you're able to hit all the muscle groups 2 to 3 times a week. And now you have recovery in between all those days where your body can break it down, build it back, and repeat this process and continue to build muscle, get more of that toned, defined look. Not only is it beneficial for all those reasons, but I don't want to spend hours in a gym, and I know you probably don't either. So when you're hitting your legs during one of the exercises, you pair it with an upper body exercise, so this saves you time. This is why full body is also really nice, because you can bounce back and forth between exercises without having to do maybe one upper body and then you have to go into another upper body when you're already exhausted. This gives your body time for your legs to recover while then you go hit an upper body exercise and you go back and forth, and you don't have to take as much time to sit there and recover. Strength training definitely helps shape your body, but number 4 is going to help you keep fat loss off sustainably forever. So what I want you to start doing is set a step goal. You've been lied through diet culture that you have to run to lose fat. In fact, I actually think for most people, this does the opposite. It actually causes more problems than it helps. And here's why. Most people, when they go out for a run, they come back and they actually end up craving a lot of foods, and they end up eating back those calories that they just burned. And if not, they actually eat more than what they would have, where if they just went for a walk, they wouldn't get cravings. Not only that, but your body also has to recover from running the same way it does from strength training, where walking is extremely easy on your joints. It's extremely easy to walk out the dang door and go do. Almost anyone can do this. And when it comes to walking, most people are able to do this forever. Whereas running, people tend to do it through seasons of their life because they probably don't enjoy running. Now, there's a massive difference between if you enjoy running and going for a run than if you're just doing it for fat loss. And on top of all of those reasons, running does not burn as many calories as you think. In fact, doing a high intensity exercise like running burns less than 10% of what your body burns on a daily basis through burning calories. So start setting a step goal. I'm not saying you need to hit 10,000 steps, but try to get 2,000 to 3,000 more than you are currently doing. And then when you get consistent at this, continue to build upon this. Or if you don't have a watch that tracks steps, start walking 10 more minutes every single day. Start breaking this stuff, start increasing over time. Numbers 1 through 4 are incredibly important, but if you aren't doing this, then you can't lose fat. Which is number 5, be in a calorie deficit. If you want to lose fat off your body, you have to be in a calorie deficit. Think about it like a budget. Let's say you wanted to go on vacation. If you wanted to save money up for that vacation, what would you have to be doing every single month? You would need to be making more than you spend. You could not be spending more, otherwise you would never be able to actually get to that vacation. Your calorie deficit works the same way. You need to be eating less than you burn on a daily basis, and when that happens, your body will take energy from your body, which is stored fat, and it takes that fat as energy and uses it, meaning it burns fat off your body. So as long as you're in a calorie deficit, you will be burning fat off your body over time. Your body has a set amount of calories, and everybody's a little bit different, and this is called your maintenance calories. So you need to be eating less than your maintenance calories for your body to be burning that fat off of your body. Look, you don't lack discipline to lose fat. You lack structure. So I've made an entirely free mini course on a calorie deficit to teach you how to lose fat, and you can access that by clicking the link in the description. I appreciate you for watching. Peace out.